back at it again, and today is a very interesting and very special episode. We are not in a typical area. We're south of downtown Los Angeles, which is not necessarily where you would find this type of adaptive reuse projects. Second of all, it is a returning guest that we will be having today. We have a pleasure of talking to beautiful Clarissa, which will be showing us her loft here. For the most part, we are looking at adaptive reuse conversions that were made probably 20 years ago. But this one was actually completed just in 2025. So this is one of the newest examples of adaptive reuse conversions. Jump right into it and to show you this very interesting building right behind me. As you have probably noticed, the majority of adaptive reuse conversions that we're talking about and that took place here in Los Angeles actually date back to the beginning of 2000s. In 1999, adaptive reuse ordinance was introduced and it sparked developers' interest to convert those old manufacturing and office and other kinds of buildings into residential units, into residential lofts. This building behind me was finished in 2025, which is not typical. The other thing that separates this building from the ones that we spoke about is the area. Because when we're talking about adaptive reuse conversions here in Los Angeles, the bulk of them was done in historic part of downtown. Some of them were done in arts district of downtown. But this building is in southern part of Los Angeles. And this is one of the few projects over here. And how else do you know that you're in southern part of Los Angeles? Vendors on a street selling treats for the kids. And not only.
I'm Clarity Cripps. Welcome to my candy factory.
Yay! Yeah, when was the last time we went to film?
This was maybe 8-9 months ago, before I moved out of the Brockman Lofts.
So how did you end up over here?
So I went to Hollywood for a brief intermission. It was slowly starting to decorate that loft, and that didn't go well. So now we're over here back in downtown where I belong and should have been the whole time.
So talk to me where we're at right now and what is going on over here? Because as always, your units seem like an explosion of style,
Yeah,
but it all still appears very, very purposeful.
exactly. So we're in a former candy factory. We're in historic South Central right now, so just slightly out of downtown LA. But this place is probably double the size of my last two places. So I had more wall space than ever, and I even have some art on the way that's not even here yet. But everything is pretty much set up. It's been maybe about 3.5 months that I've been here so far.
Why is it so important for you to live in a place that sort of becomes your creative extension? Because I know you're super active looking for new furniture, looking for new art. Why is this so important? Because some people just move in, they want to make sure there's a couch, there's a, table, fridge, and that's pretty much it. For you, it seems like this is your extension. Why do you care so much?
It's two things. It's kind of like an art form for me, interior design, and just being able to showcase all of my collections, my art, all of the things that matter to me. And then also just growing up with less and living in really dirty, dingy places and not so great spaces, having the power to create something beautiful that nobody can take away from me. I mean, technically, things happen, but it's just nice having the power to shape my own environment, and no one else needs to have a say in what goes here, what goes there. Like, I'm in charge of making sure it looks clean. I'm in charge of making sure the air is clean and good to breathe and it's healthy and organized. And so everything here is intentional. It has a purpose. It's organized and it's bright. It's just more than just functionality. You feel good looking at it, and every piece has a story, which I think we even touched on some of the specific
Yeah.
pieces last time. I do have a lot more too that have some stories. So,
Do you spend a lot of time at home?
no, I don't.
And that's
I
the tough
leave,
part.
I'm always gone. I'm either traveling somewhere else or I'm at a coffee shop or at work at my business. So I'm not really even here that much, but when I am, like, I enjoy the space. I honestly just use the space to create. Like, I love making content. I love taking photos. I love coming up with different videos and concepts and just taking content of my dogs just existing in the space, like living their best life completely unaware of where they are.
And I know you've gotten actually very active on the social media. What pushed you towards that direction?
I've been wanting to for a while. I feel like I was distracted for a bit, so I kind of paused, but now I'm back and better than ever. And that's just where I'm putting all of my creative energy into right now. That's been like my expression in art form.
I love it. I love it. Well, you want to walk me through this place? Because I remember some pieces. There's some new pieces over here, and obviously the space is completely different.
Yeah.
So do you want to walk me through
Yes.
this
So
place?
this is a 3-story loft. There's a rooftop, there's a second floor mezzanine bedroom, and then there's the giant first floor. And when you come through the entryway, it's quite large. It goes right into the kitchen. The loft really came with nothing. It was like a blank canvas. So basically everything you see here, I had to add. And that includes like the bathroom cabinet, the faucet, these shelves right here, like the hood. Everything was just blank. And yeah, moving forward into here, this is the first living space. If you remember, I am notorious for having 3 couch setups pretty much in every home that I'm in. I don't know what it is.
3 couch setups.
I just love a living room. So this is the first one. This is my dream couch. It's called the Dream.
Yeah, that's the weirdest and the coolest house I think I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could see how you could almost disappear in this couch.
And I do, yeah. And they love it too. Like, it's just like a little grass, like area for them. I have my, this is one of Miki's I got, this credenza from the Modernica sample sale. And yeah, and I let this couch so much. I had the color done custom. And I recently hung up just some art behind it, just things that didn't really have a place elsewhere.
So what's the inspiration behind 3 couch per unit type of thinking?
There's really no need or reason. I just love creating little living spaces. That's just my favorite space to create in. Like, I love doing a gallery wall, which is like kind of what you have behind you right here. I love.
It's almost like a modern shrine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've got one of my friend's pieces. I love her. She also did this piece of my dog. I like the way it kind of hides under this little like Harry Potter nook.
Wake up, cousin! We're going to the zoo!
Moving forward, we could talk about this. This is an amazing artist, Mike, and this piece really spoke to me. I had walked past his gallery in Los Feliz, like East Hollywood area, and when I saw this, I just knew I had to have it. And they actually recently filmed a music video in here, so he was kind enough to also leave me a second piece right there for display, and it looks
Oh, wow.
cool in the loft. But
That is super cool.
yeah, his work speaks to me so much, and I love having it in my space. Just adds so much color. This is the main living area, and this couch is new. You might have seen it before, but it was a really ugly gray color. Lucy. Here we go, come here. And I had it rebolstered, and I went with this like almost houndstooth green kind of print. I feel like it really brought the couch to life. This was an original from the 80s, so it was a bit old, and it looks a lot better now.
Nice. So you had to reupholster it.
Reupholstered this. This was the first thing that got moved in here when I moved. And I have this vintage IKEA table. That's something I recently found. We got
You're very proud of your findings.
Yeah,
Like, I could see you lighting up when you talk about this kind of stuff. I could see you being like, yeah, this is the one that I found recently.
I love thrifting. I love picking through things and vintage, and I'm also a big believer that one man's trash is another man's treasure.
To be honest with you, this is basically a metaphor of adaptive reuse anyway.
Yeah.
Because this building used to be, you know, a candy factory, and now you live over here.
Yeah.
That's adaptive reuse, and same thing with some of these pieces, you know?
Yeah. And you know, that's another thing with the space, why I went for so much color. The fact that it's a candy factory just feels like it has so much youth and fun to it. My whole lore with the bedroom was like thinking that candy was made where I lay my head at night is super cute. So I honestly want to do more art-wise to kind of embody that. Like, if I'm able to come across anything candy related that can like suspend from the ceiling or whatever it is, I definitely want to figure something out for that and try some new things. Just bring the history into the space.
I know that you used to live in a different loft and you've gone through the whole process of looking for lofts all around town. How was that?
It's hard to find a cool loft with a good price range and in a good area. I feel like the best lofts that are in the right price range are usually in the worst parts of downtown and around downtown. Like Little Tokyo has a really cool building. They're always affordable, but they're almost always just not worth living in that particular part of town. I really, really liked my last loft a lot. I loved the location, but I just was ready to do something different and switch it up. And yeah, so you just have to dig. And unfortunately, like a lot of the good lofts in good areas are either taken or like $6,000 a month. For the size of this place, the price just made sense. And I'm not mad at the area either. It's honestly quieter than my last place in downtown was.
Oh yeah? But in terms of the space in general, and I mean, let's come back to you looking for the lofts, because I feel like you're one of the best candidates to give a feedback to developers.
Yeah.
Because you're basically their demographic.
Oh,
You've lived in a loft before, you live in a loft right now. So what do you think makes a successful loft?
I think they strip too much of the charm and the character. Like, I really appreciate when a loft leaves behind the elements that make a loft a loft. Like, for example, these windows to my right, these are original from the 1920s. Are they soundproof? Absolutely not. But are they beautiful? Yes. And there's nothing you could have replaced them with that could stand out as much as those did. That's actually what sold me on the apartment initially. I also think leaving the exposed brick is so special, and sometimes they just restore them to an unrecognizable state where you could hardly tell it's a loft. I also have such a pet peeve when people call something a loft when it's straight up just a studio.
What's the distinction then, in your opinion?
A true loft has a mezzanine, has like an overarching looking area, but I'm even okay with calling it a loft if it's a giant open air space, like high ceilings, like exposed brick. Like, it has the elements, we can call it a loft. But I've toured so many little lofts that are kind of just little rooms, and there's nothing specific about them that makes them a loft. Like, they're studios. I've lived in them before. I never called it a loft. I called it a studio. So touring lofts and searching for lofts, keyword lofts on Instagram and social media and on Zillow means you're going to come across a lot of studios. So you really have to pick through and find the actual lofts.
You just mentioned Instagram, Zillow. Is that how you looked for this type of product?
I found this on Marketplace, and
Ooh.
I also really love the Loft company and Loftway. I think they curate really well. They work directly with the owners and the landlords to rent out their spaces. The problem with that is they're usually quite hard to reach depending on the agent, and they can also be a little bit expensive because those are a little bit more particular, like landlords. They're a lot more particular about who they let in and what price they're willing to accept. Whereas a developer like this company, they had a few units on the market and they just, put them all out. And, whoever gets it first kind of gets it first.
Yeah.
But I think we should renovate more lofts. I think there's a growing desire and want and need for lofts because people want the space and people appreciate just the uniqueness and the character that a loft has to offer. Like, there's just no way that this furniture would make sense in a regular apartment. I couldn't do it.
Right. But now when you've lived at several lofts, what do you think is a demographic? Who are your neighbors? Who are your neighbors right now? Who were your neighbors at the Brockman lofts? What do you think is the category of people that would be attracted to this type of
the best part
product?
It's people that are just like me, like young, and they own a business, working professionals, just people that are a little bit less stereotypical and less by the books and just more fun, more bold, like more apt to invest money into their furniture, more apt to like take something out of the trash and make it nice again, like musicians, artists. It attracts a certain type of person, and those are the kind of people I just get along best with anyways. So I do find that when I've lived at these types of buildings, I do make more like-minded creative friends, whereas when I lived at high-rises or even regular apartments, like, are kind of just immersed in that demographic of people. Most people that lives in lofts, they either make music, art, or they do something somewhat creative or just less by the books.
You know what fascinates me is that there's so many very ordinary brands and items that people would use that live in creative spaces, but they would sort of customize them a little bit. So like I could see that you added a little bit of color over here, and you know, it's a very tiny little thing, but it's just a pop of color that
Yeah.
I feel like people that simply live in regular apartments, they wouldn't even care about, you know, painting it red and green and teal.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought this shelf on Marketplace, and specifically the one I wanted was way too expensive, and it just so happens to come in this standard colorway.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it upon myself to put masking tape, and I just DIY'd it as
there
I
you
do
go.
when I want something that I can't have. I just make it. So another fun addition, I want to show you this. This is actually a functioning phone.
That's
And I got
crazy.
this in Montreal, Canada.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, they obviously just maintain their stuff because it's so cool.
That is super cool.
I kind of pictured having a dramatic phone call with somebody and just like slamming that phone down.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a fun one to do it too. Want to head upstairs?
Yes.
This is the second story. Actually, look at these new pieces. I met this artist in Montreal. Her work is so amazing, and I just knew that this series of 3 framed by my friend Danny at Umako, I was like, these are gonna be perfect to bring you up the stairs, especially because they have so much color. And if you think it's colorful down there, it's even worse upstairs. So
Oh yeah.
come on up. This is the second story of the loft. This is like a third living room.
So that's the part of the couch that.
Didn't fit downstairs because it's so big.
How important that was for you to find a place that would have a lot of light? Because, you know, people that are looking for apartments always tell me that, oh, well, I need a lot of light, and it just never happens because, I mean, especially with the older apartments, people didn't care about that. You know, they just needed to get a square footage in.
Yeah, the confession is it's not bright enough.
Oh yeah?
It needs more light, but it is what it is. I take what I can get. It's south facing. It's got consistent light, but if you remember my last place, I need the light like beaming. I want to get a tan
Yeah.
for my couch. Not because I want to be tan, just because I am a plant and I need light to grow. I have my makeshift closet. Again, this place didn't come with anything, just complete blank canvas. So I had this vision in mind. I wanted a really colorful, bright wardrobe. And so I took these IKEA little hangers and I custom painted them and put them up on the wall with my little frame TV, and I think they look really sick. Like,
Oh, I didn't even recognize frame TV, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's a TV.
They're so cool.
it's so
They're so
awesome.
cool. I have 2 of those at home.
Oh, nice.
And like, you can't even recognize that it's a TV.
Yeah, that's how I like it. I don't like TVs. That's one of my pet peeves.
How long did it take you to decorate the whole space?
Every single day for the last 3.5 months.
Really?
Yeah, especially this week. Just making sure everything was finally in a place that just felt right. And honestly, I have plans to switch everything around in the next 2 or 3 months. So this is just like a temporary layout for it. So honestly, I don't know if I mentioned, but I used to just impulsively want to break my lease and move all the time, but I couldn't afford to do it. So I would just be so like frustrated. And then I realized it was never about the apartment. It was the fact that I just felt so like stuck in the space. Like the bed had to go a certain way and the couch had to go a certain way, and it doesn't have to anymore. Like realistically, the bed could go anywhere on this level. It could even go downstairs. And that's what's so fun. Like nothing has to be finalized in a loft. And I think when you have a loft, it's okay for it to be kind of messy. You know what I mean? There's like that aesthetic, that undone, just raw aesthetic of a loft. And that to me just feels better too, because it's like a vibe when it's clean, and it's also cool when it's not.
When you were looking for this place, did you research anything about the history of this place? Were you even curious?
I tried to. There's really nothing that existed online. I was hoping to find some old photos or something I could frame, but nothing, honestly. So it seems like it was just kind of forgotten for so long.
One of the cool elements about adaptive reuse, and this is the question that I was asking to a developer that did toy factory lofts and biscuit company lofts, because they
Yeah.
spend a lot of time and money
Yeah.
actually looking up information and like flying to Missouri to look up original architect.
I love the biscuit company.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Dream building.
Oh yeah?
Buildings. Too expensive.
If you have to deal with all of the downsides of older buildings, because if the building is 100 years old, there's gonna be certain downsides. And as a resident, you'd have to deal with this. I think knowing the history and knowing what was here before kind of compensates for that. That's sort of the whole purpose.
Exactly, that's the whole point. Because you're right, if you wanted something new, you would have picked something new, but you didn't. You picked something that was restored and just had the original bones of something that once was. And I think that's what makes it so cool. I really like the story and understanding what something once was. I mean, everything was once something, right? Like,
Yeah.
at this point, even these new buildings, there was once something before, whether it be a parking lot or an old bakery. But it's cool when they don't have to demolish to rebuild. They can just, I guess, adjust the structure that exists and remains. And I think that's why lofts are so interesting, because the structure is built so well that they can just like demolish what's inside, but keep the foundation, keep the structure, and just build it back up and make it better. I think the old stuff is just so much better. It's made better, it's made to last, and obviously look, it has, it's lasted. I think a lot of people are changing their tune about where they want to live, and a lot of people do want the charm and the space that a loft has to offer. If it was up to me, I would be protecting and renovating all of these buildings and making so many different lofts. Upstairs right here is the third story, which is the rooftop that overlooks South Central. Seen this one before, one of my favorites, my dog's portrait. This is a new addition. I really, really wanted a stained glass window, so I made one. And yep. This is the third story, and have a little dog turf area for when you don't feel safe to go outside at night and with the dogs. Necessary. And kind of like work in progress, but I really want to put like a grill out here and like a bigger sofa, host more people.
Because you need basically a fourth living area.
Yeah.
Because 3 is not enough.
Yeah, 3 was enough, I guess. You're right. I mean, who am I kidding? We might even push for 5.
History of this building goes back and very tightly connected to a gentleman named Louis Christopher, which came to United States in 1871 from French region, which was about to become a part of Germany. So he thought to himself that, I'd do anything. I would even move to the US, anything but become a German citizen. And this is exactly how he ended up in the US. In 1887, he moved to Los Angeles and he found his way into the restaurant business. He decided to build this facility to produce a lot of confectionery goods starting from 1927. At that time, in early 20th century, a lot of warehouses, a lot of production was actually moving to this side of town, to the southern part of downtown Los Angeles. And this building actually, after it stopped serving its original capacity, which is producing confectionery goods, became one of the manufacturing facilities for some textile companies, much smaller companies, and the history is wildly lost for decades, but luckily in 2020, this building was purchased. And later, it was converted into creative spaces, lofts, so you would see a lot of industrial edges on this building, lots of roughness, but this is something that makes buildings like that very unique, and this is something that people like me and Clarissa are on a hunt for. Thank you so much, Clarissa, for letting me inside your house again. I feel like at this point in time, I'm one of the most common guests over here.
Yeah, you're the first person to come and tour the space, and it's cool that you also appreciate and have the same eye that I do. So you feel very seen when you have someone like that kind of do a walkthrough of the home.
I hope you could stick around over here for a minute just so you could enjoy fruits of your labor, because it's a long process to put together a place like this. But it's also a creative process of, maybe creating something, destroying it, creating it again. So whatever's next for you, I do want to follow your journey because you have an amazing style, and can't wait to see what new pieces you're going to find thrift markets and thrift stores, because you're a pro over there, not just at decorating, but also at finding.
Sourcing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as fun as decorating, to be honest. So definitely I have plenty of time to continue to add to the space, and I feel like this will definitely not be the final form and will not even look like this like 4 months from now.
And I also would like to, one of the things that you do outside of your day business, which is hair salon, you also help people decorate their places as well. So if somebody feels connected to the style or to the philosophy behind it, I would strongly recommend for them to reach out to you and to see if you could help them out to decorate their places, because you've done an amazing job at the Brockman Lofts and here as well. And it's all very, very unique. This type of episodes personally give a lot of hope, because not only they showcase newer redevelopments, but they showcase smaller redevelopments, which tells me that this niche is open for not only institutional investors, but also for smaller investors that could find buildings like this, could give them the second chance in life. If you guys live in one of these amazing buildings, in one of those historic adaptive reuse buildings, hit me up. Maybe you will be the next invited guest in my podcast. Thank you very much for following me on this journey. Please share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode on my channel. Ciao.